Hi everyone, and welcome to another match preview show on Football Talk Podcast. My name's Ozzy, and I'm your host for this evening. Now, this game has got fireworks written all over it for obvious reasons in terms of the transfer saga around Isak. So it's only right that I brought some guests on with me today. Of course, everyone knows Double D, a Liverpool fan, but we had to get a voice for Newcastle as well, and that is D-Man. So firstly, D-Man, welcome to the show. It's your debut today. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, man. Looking forward to this. Long time coming and that. Big fan of the
Yes,
channel and that.
definitely.
So, yeah, man. Interested to see what you
Well,
guys got to say.
we were meant to get you on for the game earlier. Sorry, the game last season, but that was the
Carabao Cup
same.
final.
So sorry for
Yeah.
the final, but that was the same week we lost to PSG. So as he said loud before he hears us
We
ranting
weren't
for
in
an
a good
hour.
mood. We
Enjoy
weren't in
us
a good
ranting
mood.
about an hour about our team. You get me? But yeah,
Uh,
well, finally, you
Nah,
get me.
it's it's cheese. Double the hiding, bro.
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Today's not gone quite the way I thought it was meant to go, but
Yeah.
we here now. I'll see if I can
Yeah.
get anything from that was meant to happen today sorted for tomorrow. But
Yeah.
ready for this one.
Now
So the game's not till Monday. I'm a little
yeah.
nervous about it, but I'll break it down.
The
I'll
plus
break down
point for
why.
us is that we've had about we'll have about 10 days to prepare for this match. So the players can, do some workouts, to make sure they're ready for war on Monday, I guess, to some extent. But
But the Newcastle fans might get us before the players do, bruv. As soon as we enter the city, bruv, it's on, bruv.
I saw the
I
Newcastle
try to
post
attack the team, bruv.
yeah, I saw the Newcastle post. They got Joe Linton as the front cover as well. So yeah,
they know what they're
there's
doing.
goods.
They know what they're doing. So,
that
ready for
funk,
war.
that funk, Joe Linton.
I'm surprised we didn't put Harvey Elliott there because he got pushed up the other time in the last match. So yeah, it's good that we didn't put him on the cover. But let's talk about Isak because me and Double D we've chopped it up in terms of what we're thinking from a Liverpool point of view. From a Newcastle one, D man, give me your thoughts on the whole Isak saga from your perspective and how
Wow.
it's been handled, and what do you think will happen in the end with this whole Isak situation?
Oh, listen. First of all, the whole situation is draining from a Newcastle fan's perspective. It's non-stop, man. It's tiring, man. Tiring. I'm hoping once the saga ends one way or the other, we could just put it to bed and just move on in it. But
Yeah,
for me, my perspective, um, listen, from months ago, I was certain that this guy was gonna stay. You know, there was no there was no inkling for me to think that he was going to leave or anything like that, or anything, or there's going to be any buzz about him in the summer, right? I know Arsenal fans, earlier on in the year they were gassed about him, and there was all this talk. I think it looked like the media was trying to push him towards Arsenal and stuff. I did
yeah,
say at the time, if he does leave and stays in the Prem, the only place I can see him going is Liverpool. But I didn't think anything of it, especially after we beat you lot in the final. In it, I thought, you know what, that's all right. And then we obviously qualified for Champions League. And I thought, you
yeah,
know what? That's when I was certain the guy was going to stay. So things starts ramping up. This talk about Liverpool, this Liverpool, that. And even then I was like, nothing. Right. But then obviously
mm,
things start to snowball in it. Like, first of all, he misses the match against Celtic. Apparently, Eddie Howe said, he was injured. Then it
yeah,
was, it was his choice to send him back to the hotel and all sorts. And that's when it started getting a bit mad. And obviously things transpired since then. He's missed the tour of Korea. He's refusing to train. He's training by himself. And then all of a sudden he's saying he don't want to play for Newcastle again. And all this talk is in the background. Liverpool interested. Liverpool this. Liverpool that. Liverpool this. The saga of Ekatike. Apparently 4D chess move that you lot played. Give us Isak overtaking your first choice transfer target and all that.
yeah,
Listen, it's been stressful. It's been stressful. The past 2 weeks, like, first of all, it got to a point when I was over it and I was resigned to the fact that he was leaving. Right? I thought, you know what, he don't want to play for us. He's leaving. I'm over it. First, I was angry, yeah, because I thought, you know, what we've not we I would say what we've done for him, but listen, the fact that he was like scoring 6 goals in the last preseason before we picked him up, and then we've now brought him
yeah,
to, you know, arguably the best striker in Europe, whatever. You could talk about Haaland, whatever, but all-round
yeah,
striker, he's number one. The fans love him, and then to kind of like diss us like that, I was like, yeah, nah. But my main thing, I've talked to Double D about this before. Like, I bought my son's birthday was last week, but I bought him his Newcastle shirt. You see that? But when it came out in what, June, July, I bought him Isak on the back. Yeah. And I also bought myself one with Isak on the back. Yeah. Luckily, when I ordered it, my one didn't come in. Like, they got out of stock, so I couldn't get it. So I got a refund.
Yeah.
His one came, was delivered, and I'm sweating, thinking, if he leaves before his birthday, I'm screwed. Yeah. But obviously, so I had to prepare the guy. My son turned 6. I had to prepare him for the fact that Isak might leave, whatever. At first, he was like, "Oh, if Isak, wherever Isak goes, I'm going with him." I'm like,
yes, come Rubes, come to death row, bro.
Listen, we'll send them a look for no worries.
Yeah, not on my watch. But anyway, obviously his birthday's passed. I've given the Isak shirt. He's still happy. We went up to Newcastle. We both wore Isak shirts, whatever. And to my surprise, there were quite a few Isak shirts about as well. Kind of thing. I thought everyone would have burnt them, dashed them, whatever. Anyway, things are transpired now. He's now resigned to the fact that Isak might leave. But it's what's happened over the last 3 or 4 days that's kind of like not shocked me, but it's disappointed me like to the core. Like his statement that he's come out with, right? Being ambiguous about, broken promises, the timing of it as well during the PFA Awards, which we were meant to attend, was just nuts. Then he's talking about it changes best for everybody and all this nonsense, whatever. I thought, you know what? Get rid of him, innit? Like, he has to go. He has to go. Like, there's no way, he's burnt his bridge with the fans. He obviously don't like the board. The players is a different story because, they understand football and I think they're cool about it. They're like whatever, most of them anyway. Yeah. But I'm happy that Newcastle responded in a quick manner, and I'm happy how they responded as well, because listen, we'll never know the real truth, but I like the way they stood on business and said, listen, there weren't no broken promises to you, whatever. And they didn't really shut the door on him. They did say, the door is still open, whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't air their dirty laundry public, but, I think they're dealing with him behind closed doors. There's rumors that he's been fined 2 weeks' wages, whatever, and continues to be fined, whatever. But right about now, I believe that he will be gone, but we have to sign replacements. Yeah. If we don't sign replacements, he has to stay and he has to deal with it. I'm not believing that fact that he's gonna go on strike for 6 months, whatever. No, if you'll get over it, you apologize and you'll play. But the fact that Newcastle they're frantically working on replacements, I think he's gone. After the game on Monday, I think we'll get an offer from Liverpool of like 130 million. We'll accept it and he'll go. And 99% of the fans want him gone anyway. Yeah, so
I was going to ask you, what's the fan base like right now? Because obviously we were speaking behind the scenes where online fans are a bit different in terms of, how you speak to people personally as well. I feel like there's some sections where they're angry, and rightly so. If you've got a player who's been disruptive, who's refused to train and basically be unprofessional, it's not a good way to go about things, isn't it? But there are some fans that are hoping that he stays, just so Liverpool don't get an upper hand as well. If that makes sense.
And I get that, because I personally don't want him to go to Liverpool. My whole thing was, if he's gonna go, stay for another season, and then the likes of Barca, Real Madrid, Bayern, they might come in for you, whatever, right? Obviously, I've got a brother that supports Liverpool as well, so that's even worse. But what surprised me when I went to Newcastle, I went to the Cellar Cup game. To me, there wasn't any hate towards Isak. Like, he still was up in you didn't see him in the store and that is, but as you're approaching the stadium, he's still on the little banners and stuff like that. They ain't been vandalized, nothing like that. I didn't hear anyone talking any smack about him, whatever. I think generally they're thinking they're all disappointed, right? And if he has to go, then I think the general thing, as long as we get the right money for him and as long as we sign replacements for him, they'll be at peace with it. Yes, there'll be a few that want him to stay.
Yeah.
By saying that though, all these people that are, he's a rat, he's this, whatever. Let's be honest. If he comes back, apologizes, and starts scoring a couple goals,
Yeah.
All forgotten about.
all will be forgiven, innit? All will be
Football fans are
forgiven.
hypocrites at times, trust me.
Oh,
So
of course,
Fickle.
of
it's one of
course.
those things where the window's closed, you have no choice but to reconcile and try and get onto good terms or civil terms at least. And then
Yeah.
you've got to keep it moving, isn't it? So
Well, that's the
that's what I
thing.
think everyone's waiting for, that sort of grand finish where is he staying or is he leaving? So everyone has a bit of clarity because I think you're all getting fed up. Liverpool fans, it's a bit weird where I think we're getting fed up of the whole situation. We're just like, is he coming or not? Like that's all. We're being
Yeah,
impatient. You know, we're
yeah.
being like spoiled brats a little bit where we don't know if we're gonna get
I will say
that
though,
big coin that we want. You know?
most fans that I speak to, as much as a lot of people want him gone,
Yeah.
the majority believe that he will stay.
Hmm.
And that's more to the fact that they don't think
Okay.
Newcastle will sign the replacements in time and we won't get the significant offer from Liverpool. Yeah. So
Okay.
most fans think he will stay. A lot of fans, or the majority of fans want him gone.
Mm.
So it's an
What do you
interesting
think the
one.
scenario is? Do you think it's more that Liverpool won't come up with the cash, or do you think it's the timing where we've only got 10 days left and there's not enough time to find adequate replacement? Which one do you think is swaying towards?
I think it's more to the fact that we can't find adequate replacements
Yeah,
because I believe that, listen, if you listen to Eddie Howe, at first he was, he was very like I'm out of the loop, I'm this, that, whatever.
yeah,
By what he does say is that he only wants players that want to play for Newcastle, right? So I personally believe that he would prefer him gone, right? But it's
yeah,
the board and PAF are standing strong to say, listen, until we get replacements, yeah, we're not going to get bullied by Liverpool. Yeah, I think that's their. So I'm not saying Liverpool are bullying them,
yeah.
but I think that's their stance.
That's the
So
start. Yeah,
it's a bit of a war internal battle. But
yeah,
my concern is, and most people don't believe this, but I think if Newcastle get one striker, they'll let him go. Yeah,
yeah. I see
I
that
think
happening.
I think that would be the case. But most fans are no, we need two. Yeah, because obviously Wilson's gone. There's
Yeah,
no way they're going to sell Isak with just one striker. But this Anthony Gordon at false nine business, obviously it's not working from my perspective. But I think if they get one striker, they think, okay, we can do with that, and then as an emergency, Gordon can play that false nine up to
yeah,
January or something like that.
yeah.
So yeah, that's what I think.
Free
Who would you
Asula,
like
man.
that
Free
person to
Asula.
be like? Who would you like that person to be? The name seems to be Johan Wissa, who's ironically doing the same thing that Isak's doing right now. He's gone a bit AWOL. He's been on strike.
But he's
He's
back in training. He's back in
his
training
profiles.
with Brentford. He's back in training
He
with.
came back in training
Oh,
and
is
then
he back?
again, and then it started
Oh,
again.
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
When?
He came back to training, trained
okay.
with them, I think, for 2 sessions, and then it started again.
What today?
Huh? No,
Today?
before.
Oh yeah. But now he's back in
Yeah,
training.
yeah,
Before today.
yeah.
Now he's back in training.
And then he went. And then it's all it's a mad thing
Then
still,
his
but
black
it's a
tie
mad thing.
profile picture, like he's removed all his lovely pictures
Yeah,
of
that's
Brentford.
a
Yeah,
nonsense. But I
changed
will
up the
say
social
though,
media.
the majority of Newcastle fans are condemning his actions as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're starting to we could do it's just a player that we want kind of thing. Like they're not
yeah.
saying Isak's doing it so he can do it. No, they're saying they're both idiots at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But
To be fair, Liverpool fans, I don't know in terms of who spoke to. I think Liverpool fans, we're not happy in terms of what's been happening in terms of how he's conducted himself because unfortunately we've had it in the past as well with the likes of Torres and Suarez. So we know how it feels as well to lose your star striker, but in a very sort of like untasteful way where they've done things kind of below the belt and it's just like, oh, you didn't have to do it like Coutinho, Suarez, or we can go through names. So we know how it feels as well. But
yeah.
unfortunately, this summer shows more so now that player power is a thing and it's rising now as well because they're trying to paint the picture for everyone now.
And it's funny because the talk is that a lot of clubs are hoping that that Newcastle stand strong to make a point,
Yeah.
to these players. But on the flip side, I've also said on numerous podcasts, from Isak's point of view, I'm not condoning what he's done, how he's done it. But if you believe that obviously the first broker promise was this contract that you was offered, right?
Yeah.
So you've been offered a contract extension, and then the people that offered it to you, they've left, and then the sporting directors come in and pulled the plug on it. Yeah, fair enough, cool. Yeah, you're disappointed about that, but then what you've seen is other players get rewarded with new contracts or more money. Yeah, So more people have more money than you, right? And you are the best player in the club. Yeah. Then you say you're agitated, you want to move, yeah. And my thing is, had he gone on tour, trained with the club, whatever, and said, you know what, I want to move, the club would like, what are you talking about? You know, you're playing Mr. Nice Guy, sit tight, whatever. They will take liberties with you, yeah. So he's thinking, well, I'm gonna have to start acting up. I'm gonna have to start acting up in some way. And obviously, he's been advised by his agent, but this is the only way I'm gonna get them to listen. Yeah, I've been disrespected. Yeah, but you know, I've won you the cup. I've done this, whatever, and I'm still not being rewarded. On top of that, you know, I want to compete for trophies, and I'm seeing you get rejected left, right, and centre from this one, that one, and that one, and all you sign is a Langer, whatever. No, I want to move, so I'm gonna have to start taking, you know, things into my own hands and do what I do. So that's probably his perspective, right? Not saying I agree with it, but and also, if on the flip side, the club said at one point, you know what, you're not performing, you know, we want to get this guy, we're going to get rid of you, and you don't want to leave. They're going to fling you in the reserves, you know what I mean? They're going to make life difficult for you. So it's like, where do we, you know, draw the line? Say, you know, he's taking a bit, but if it's on the flip side, the club will do the same thing. So it's like,
it's true. You can't win in those kind of scenarios because when a player's doing it, everyone's against the player. But when it's a club stance, they're like, no, we back the club. So the club always gets the upper hand when it comes to the fan base because like you can't disrespect the club. So that's what it's come across now.
Look at Man U and Hoyland, bruv. They're literally forcing him out of the club because they've got Šeško in now. You get
Chelsea and Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Jackson as well, but he can. I don't feel sorry for Jackson though because the sending offs and whatnot. He never hurt. He never helped. You get me.
But that's the thing. You're not hearing that kind of noise for those two players because they're leaving. They want to leave, whereas Isak is the main guy at Newcastle. So it hurts the fan base that, you know, our main player wants to leave. So it's a crazy situation. I feel like it was always going to be one that was going to go towards the latter stage of the window. Dubul Dee, how do you see this ending?
As I was saying the last time, I've got this funny feeling that it might not happen, unfortunately.
Oh my God.
You get what I'm saying?
Negative energy, man. What's going on?
I know, I'm sorry, man. I mean to be the pessimist, but it's been dragging on for a while. And even as I've always said, it would have been interesting to see if he kicked up what's it called? If he kicked up this fuss before we bought Ekatike. I just want to know what route Liverpool would have gone through, whether they still would have got Ekatike, or it would have been because of the large money you would have been spending on Isak, where you would have looked for a cheaper striker to back him up, obviously, because rest in peace, Jota, we needed to replace Jota, right? So it's an interesting one, but it's dragging on a bit because for such a massive fee, this late in the window, so much negotiating and whatnot will need to be done. That's what's getting me. Every day that gets closer to the end of the window, it's not happening, makes me nervous. So it might be a case where it might have to take place in January or might have to take place next summer. But I've seen him, as Dee said, the possibility of him playing for Newcastle, and then fickle fans just say he gets a hat trick in the first time he comes back. Everyone's going to forget that he wanted out just a few years. But I do think it was a little petulant, the timing of him putting that on Insta as well. It's not even like it was a
everyone's in the same venue as well, isn't it, in terms of the awards? So he knew what he was doing.
Literally just before they were naming the team of the season. So they've obviously briefed him beforehand that you're in it. You get what I'm saying? I mean, like, come on, bro. The timing. When people, people are always doctoring stuff on social media of people's stories. I thought it was fake. So as soon as I got sent it by about 3 people, I went to Instagram. I was like, oh, damn, it's real. Like, what's wrong with him? You get what I'm saying? I mean, so yeah, the timing was a bit mad. He's going on like he's going on like one of them bougie chicks right about now. But this is the thing. All these broken promises business is going on all over the place, because look at Lookman, for instance, trying to get out of Atalanta. He wrote
Atalanta,
2-page thing talking about how broken promises. But again, as Dee said, when there's a change in the hierarchy or with the manager, these things happen. Because remember, Gasparini's left now. He's at Roma now, isn't he? So all these things that are agreed to before, these things will change when, if it's a new director of football, new manager, or whatever.
Well, that's it. That's the thing with the broken promises, with Isak now. Because what happens is obviously Amanda Stavely offered him the contract, right? So Paul Mitchell's come in. Now, it was Craig Hope, the Newcastle journalist, who brought the story about Paul. It was Paul Mitchell that pulled the plug on it, blah, blah. Now, I believe that Craig Hope has got a problem with Mitchell. He always has done, right? But
okay.
what he hasn't done is explain the full story, because what it was is that Paul Mitchell's coming. Remember, he did that interview saying the transfer policy is not fit for purpose, right? He's done a full analysis of the club's financial situation, seen that we've been PSR problems. And what the story is that had we offered Isak what he wanted, that would have taken us above the 70% limit that you could have for salary, whatever it is, whatever, and put us further in a breach of PSR. So that's why he said, you know what? You've got 4 years left on your contract. It makes no sense at the financial sense at the moment, yeah, to offer you this, yeah. So we can't do it. We can't fulfill. And because Amanda Staveley wasn't a master of finances, we know that, yeah. She was the one who said, you know, we're going to win the title in 5 years. You know, Eddie Howe's going to be like Sir Alex was staying there for 20 odd years, whatever.
Yeah.
Making all these promises, whatever, which sounds good. And listen, I rate her for what she's done for the club, but it was obvious when she left the financial mess that we were in. Hence, we had to sell Anderson and Minte. So in that respect, that one I can understand. Also, they talk about, because Newcastle alluded in their statement about the whole promising Isak a move, right? Now, there is no way that he's come to Newcastle, said, I want to move, and we said, yeah, we'll get that done for you for the summer. What they've said is, okay, we understand your situation, yeah. What we can say is, if we get adequate replacements, yeah, and we get a sufficient bid for you, then we can start entertaining that idea, right? Neither of those conditions have been met, as far as we know, right? We've got no replacements in line. Liverpool have offered the 110 million, which was not enough. Yeah. Since then, they've said they're going to walk away. So why would we consider telling you? It just makes no sense. So you can kick up a fuss about it, but it makes no sense either way. You know what I mean? So broken promises, again, it's not, unless it's written down.
I was about to say, with these sort of things, if it's not on paper, it doesn't really matter, because we know the history. Harry Kane, look at Harry Kane. He was starving for a move for years and years, and of course, he had the gentleman's agreement. But in this day and age, what is a gentleman's agreement?
But they protected Kane, didn't they? Protected Kane, didn't they? Gary Neville, I've met him numerous times. He's not that type of person, and all this. They protected him, but these other players.
He went on strike. But Kane went on strike. You know what I mean? Nonsense.
They put out the story about how he'd been given extended time off to protect the fact of him going on strike. He was told that he could have extended. Come on, man. We're not that gullible, man. We know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We know what's going on.
I'm going to go through some of the comments. We've got a few come through from Lucas. So he says, as a Liverpool fan, we as a fan group are not looking forward to the hostility coming at St. James's Park.
Bear man shook. I listened to a preview earlier. Bear man shook, bro.
I know Fairfield was shook, so gotta get some extra pads on or something, man. Gotta take yourselves in it, you know what I mean? AR says, big up Aussie, D man,
big up AR.
Well, this is his lineup, so he's gone early. We'll do our lineups later on, but AR's lineup is Alisson.
Frimpong's injured, AR, you know.
Frimpong's injured, so he's not available, as Dubul Dee said. VVD, Konate, Kirkes, Grab, Szoboszlai, Salah, Ekatike. So good lineup there. AR says the false project and commitments made to Newcastle and Isak have not been fulfilled. Newcastle is second tier club and no Paul. I feel like that's a bit harsh in terms of the late part, but the no Paul, I think, is more so attracting the certain level of striker, which, of course, you're not just going to sign anyone to replace Isak. It's got to be someone that has huge potential or huge promise to become like an Isak, or maybe even better, if that makes sense. So that's always going to be hard.
And like I said, all the targets that we've gone for, like I rate the ambition, but look who we've lost out to, all the top 6 clubs. You know what I mean? So it's just like, maybe it's a harsh reality, but it's not surprising. So we have to go back to the light.
I think striker market's been a bit dry. This I don't feel like there's a lot of potent strikers in world football right now. What do you think?
100%. That's why we're so keen to hold on to Isak, bro, because if we lose him, it's a downgrade whoever we get. You know what I mean? And if you look at the options about, none of them strike me with that much confidence. You know what I mean? The Visa thing, I could understand as a Wilson replacement, because that would have been a good one. But as our main striker, you know, to push us forward, no. And who else is there? You know what I mean? So it's like,
Would you take Watkins, D?
No. No.
What, because of his age or
Who would
what?
you
Because of
take?
age.
Who would
Because
be
of
who would
age.
be your
Okay, okay,
choice?
okay, okay,
Who would be your choice,
It would have
man?
been Ekatike, bro. But obviously he's gone. So of those who are available,
Yeah.
Vissa plus. See, this is the thing. Like the ones who are left, you look at that Samu from he's a ball, but again,
Porto.
very raw. Yeah, and he you
Yeah.
know he looks like he's committed to Porto. Did he get injured the other day? Anyway, someone said he got injured the other day.
I
I
think
don't
he
know if that's
did.
true.
Yeah, I read something like that. I didn't watch the game, but I heard something like that as
Yeah.
well.
So who have you left with really? Strand Larson we linked to, Jackson.
Mm.
Who else is there? I know, like my co-host on night is Mike Jefferson would have like Boniface, whatever, but you know what I mean. He's
He
getting
looks,
Milan,
it looks
He's in
like he's
Saudi,
guy,
I
but
say,
yeah,
right?
Milan. Yeah, guy Milan.
Milan. Yeah,
Oh, Milan. Okay,
yeah. Again, the striker market is so dry.
it's
I
dry.
can't think of many. You know what I mean? There's rumors that we contacted Harry Kane the other day. Like, come on, man, he was never going to come. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, it's difficult. But I'm trying to think of names as well. I can't really. You mentioned Watkins, of course. You said no, but the only thing with Watkins, it's a short-term kind of
Fix.
addition where you know it's been proven, but at the same time, you don't just want to buy a makeshift striker for the sake of it. You do want to sign kind of a project player where you know that he's raw, but he's got the potential to become a top striker in the end. How
Yeah.
did you feel about the Sesko deal falling through? Was that someone that you had high hopes for, or are you kind of glad he didn't come in the end?
Before the links, I never really, thought of it. Like, back
Yeah,
in the day, I thought when it was hyper by him, I thought, okay, he looks a decent striker and that.
yeah,
Obviously, when we started to get linked with him and then the personal terms were agreed, that I was warming to the idea of, Sesko and Vissa. Yeah, because like you
yeah,
said, you've got a prem proven striker and then
yeah,
someone who Eddie Howe can develop because I think he's
yeah,
22. And I think that was the age when Isak joined. He was 22. So,
yeah.
the proof is in the pudding that we could improve him,
Mm,
whatever. I thought it would be good, right? The price, listen, the price was excessive, but it's not my money, so I don't really care. Yeah, it's a young striker with
yeah,
potential. Not mad at it, right? But the moment that two things. First of all, the moment that Man United got involved seriously, you knew it was only going to go one way. Yeah, it's fair enough. So I wasn't really too shocked and disappointed about it. My thing is that Newcastle played their hand very, very early. I know they wanted to get the deal done, but the fact that they offered the majority of the transfer fee up front has now sent alarm bells to all the other clubs that were trying to target their strikers. Yeah, they're going to try
yeah,
fleece us. You know what I mean? That's because we haven't got a sporting director in place to do the negotiations. We've got Eddie Howe's nephew, yeah, who's not experienced in this game, right? Yeah. So you're throwing, you're like a kid in a candy store. You're throwing money at everything, like not
yeah.
thinking about how every other club does deals, and there's a reason for it. You know what I mean? So that shot us in the foot as well. Because why has Brentford gone from 40 million for Vissa to 60 million? Yeah. Now I know I said I don't really care about the money, but there's no way I would agree to pay 60 million for a 29-year-old. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes no sense, especially when the
No.
price has shot up 20 million in 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care if you got slapped by Forest the other day. You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? The Sesko thing, there was a point where I thought, yeah, it could be good. But then when Man United got involved, I was like, quickly thought, you know what? It is what it is. He's going to go there. I'm not too disappointed. So I think he'll flop at Man United, by the way, because I don't think that's
I
the right
think
fit.
he would as well. I don't rate him. I think he's quite raw. I think he's a bit overrated because it all came from when he joined Salzburg and Haaland had left at the time to join
Yeah,
Dortmund. So
and then
everyone's like,
he
"Oh,
was
he's the
bagging
next
goal.
Haaland." So
Yeah,
because of that, they've labeled him the baby Haaland, but he doesn't really play like him, if that makes sense. And he's very inconsistent. Whenever I've watched him, he's had a stinker. So I don't know if I'm like a bad luck charm or something for him because whenever I see him, he's awful. So I'm gonna have to watch all
but
the
that's the
United
thing.
games
But that's
this
the
season
thing.
then.
Same as I'm the same, but on
Yeah.
compilations and that, he hits the
So
ball
even
very
live,
hard.
watched him live as well, and he's been terrible. So it's like, what's all this like ratings for? So I'm always confused. But with United, I don't feel like they always have a strategy in mind. For them, it's just trying to find or try to sign the trendy person at the time. That
Yeah,
they're a hipster type of club. They'll just sign who's ever trendy and then they just
Exactly.
get them on board. So yeah, it's one
yeah,
of those ones.
they've got
AR
some
says
policy.
players come and go, right? Isak's not going back to Newcastle. We're the only ones after him. It's not our problem. Newcastle can't get anyone. Broken promises and false project. How do you feel about that comment, D man?
Listen, I agree. Players do come and go, and if Isak does go, Newcastle will survive. But the whole thing about you're the only ones after him, fair enough, which is strange to me. Maybe it's because of the money that we're demanding. But yes, it's not your problem that it is your problem that Newcastle can't get anyone, because if you can't get anyone, he's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
Exactly. It's a big problem.
It is a big problem because I said the other day, like the Whistle one, don't get me wrong, 60 million is high, that is inflated, but you guys got to bring up the cash, because if you want a striker, then obviously it has to be done with the window being, I think, 9-10 days left. It's not a lot of leeway to try and negotiate too much, isn't it? So
yeah.
I think one of the players you were linked was Mateta, and he ended up scoring his first
Yeah, he
goal.
scored today. Yeah, he
in
scored
Europe
today.
yesterday, so
Dubul Dee knows my thoughts on Mateta, man, but he continues to prove me wrong. So it
No,
is.
but at the time you were right, bro. At the
Yeah,
time you
it's
were right,
true.
and then man just finished it up.
He just woke up, man. He woke up. But obviously, we're linked to Strand Larson today, and I know
yeah.
Dubul Dee rates him
They're going to
How do you
extort
feel
you
about
though,
that?
because they just bought him
course,
permanently for
for
23
23
mil.
million.
So they're
And
going to
Yeah,
try to get twice that
yeah,
fee, bro.
more
You
than
get
that. They're talking at 70 million, bro. Like, come
me?
on,
Oh,
man.
triple.
Yeah. But the thing is, Newcastle's at a point where they're gonna have to do it. They're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have
yeah.
to, maybe 50 million or whatever it is. They're gonna have to do something, because
Mm.
even if Isak does stay, we still need another striker. You
You
know what I
do
mean?
need,
So it's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
so they're gonna. I think that desperation times, isn't it? They talk about, we contacted Chelsea again for Jackson and whatnot, whatever. Like,
Though he said he wants to stay there, I think you lot should try something like try and bid for Goncalo Ramos.
yeah,
Because he's clearly
That's a good shout.
because they played Dembele false nine. He's clearly not the main guy there. But the problem with him
Mm.
is that he's more old school thing, goal scorer, doesn't do all as much as the link up play and that, which some people might shy away from because these managers, like the way that they operate and that now. But that's a finisher right there. When we bought me and Oz at the time, when we bought
Yeah,
Darwin Nunes, the Benfica fans were trolling us online because they said that
yeah,
Gonzalo Ramos is twice the finisher. You get what I'm saying, bro?
yeah.
And he's
It's
gone
true.
PSG and he sits on the bench.
I
So
wouldn't be
he's
mad at
one,
that. I wouldn't be
he's one
mad
of
at
the
that.
few proper strikers that are actually like about in Europe. You get what I'm saying? But whether
You'd
or
be a
not
smart
he will
signing.
not
He's
be,
like 23 as well. Like he's proven. Of course, Benfica's banging the goal. PSG,
yeah,
despite not being a first team player all the time,
when
whenever
he
he's brought
plays, he
into the pitch, he
scores.
does
Yeah.
bang in the goals.
Mhm.
So he's
No,
definitely got something about him.
a good one. If you could get him, and if it was him and Larson or him and Vissa, then that would be
Yeah, you're
excellent.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
We can let him
Oh,
go, but yeah, I don't see it happening.
Mm.
yeah. AR says Newcastle LFC tackle fly everyone that's in it. But yeah, tackles. I think it'll be more assaults more than anything else. If I'm being honest with you. Steve Starring says
Come on,
Liverpool will
Steve,
win.
energy.
Big up. He says Liverpool fan. Big up to yourself, Steve. AR says we need Gay, CDM, number 9, and backup winger on. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get all of those players in 10 days. I think for us, I would be pleased if we get Gay and Isak. That would be a good for me window for us to close. Double D, what are you saying?
Even Gay might stay. Did you see Parrish's interview after
I
the game?
know,
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
But
That's the
nah,
promise right now. So it's like it's difficult. These are areas that I understand fans feel like we need to kind of cover, but we have to prioritize certain areas. Like Isak would make sense because we've sold Darwin Nunes and Diaz, so we haven't replaced them like for like.
Mm.
And with Gay, we need another centre. But we've signed a young Italian prodigy in Leone, but he's still quite raw, so you can't really push him into the first team straight away. And Kanate's future. That's the thing about Gay. I feel like if we get him on a free, then I feel like Kanate might be going as well. That it just ends up being the
Yeah.
automatic replacement in 1 year time. So I don't know where Liverpool's stance is. Is it to add to the team, or is it a future proofing our defense where we sign him now, but then let Kanate go in the end? So Liverpool, you never know. Like everyone says, we play 4D chess. We do it with ourselves as well sometimes. So
But
you
that's
just never know how it kind of pans out.
we could be the ones that stop ourselves trying to go back to back rather than the other teams because we got
Yeah.
problems already at right back. I don't even know who's gonna go. I don't even know who's gonna go.
Sabozlai will play right back, man. Sabozlai play
That's
right
what I was
back.
just about to say. There's mild talk that Sabozlai's going to play right back, and then the midfield's going to be
You know what?
Birch and McAllister.
I looked at your team, because listen, before everyone was saying, these content creators, Liverpool won the transfer window, this, that, and the third, whatever,
No,
right? And
no.
obviously, even if you get Isak, all right, fair enough, cherry on
Yeah.
top, whatever. Then I saw your predicted lineup for Monday. Yeah, and I thought that team, it doesn't. I'm not saying this. I'll give my prediction, but it doesn't scare me. It doesn't. And I predicted again, maybe silly. I predicted that Arsenal win the league, right? Now, obviously they're adding Eze to their ranks as well. In terms of balance, I'm not talking about quality, but in terms of balance, they just seem to have a bit more slightly the new guys, and I'm thinking that wasn't the talk. Like once you sign Vert, whatever, and Ekatike was like, you lot are the force to be reckoned with. But maybe it's seeing how you played for the last couple of games, the Community Shield and last week. You've got this feel. I know Gravenberch hasn't been there, and he's key.
Yeah,
but you've got this feel about being entertainers. Newcastle entertainers in the early 90s under Keegan. Like, you score 4, we score 5. Yeah. That kind of thing. You've got that feel about you. There doesn't seem that aura about you defensively about you at the moment. Obviously, it's early days, isn't it? So that feel can change. But on paper, it doesn't look scary. Like, before I looked at Liverpool, you know what? They're going to blow us away.
I hear that. That's fair, because some of the fans, obviously, which is why everyone's saying DM 2 defenders, or we've got Yogi now, so it'll be 1 defender and a DM or whatever. But this is the thing as well, is that a lot. The funny thing with Arsenal is that it looks like there's cover in each position they could go to, so that can support in the cups to that. But the funny thing is that, you know, what my problem is with Arsenal, it's not even the players they bring in, it's actually Arteta. And I'm one of the few that question. I just think in the biggest game at the thingy, I think he's going to make an error. Like when they went for it season before last, where he brought Havertz and they ended up losing to Aston Villa. I think Arteta is the problem now. He better win something this season because they're running out of patience. Because I reckon a better manager than him does win the league. Therefore, not therefore, but a better manager than him will probably win the league this season. Last season they went deep in the Champions League because of the fact they fell off in the league. So he has to show me that he could compete on all fronts. But even talking to them, bruv, Man United aren't good. They let them have 22 efforts on Sunday. David Wright had to make 7 saves. So even them, I can't sit there and be like, but Cunha ran through their team from his own off. That's true. Even them, and their goal, if you look at what happened in the box, you shouldn't even have stood. So obviously it's only 1 game, there's 37 to go. But if you were forced to have a gun to your head and you were forced to pick someone from the first weekend to win the league, I'm going City. Because I thought they beat Wolves, but I thought it would be about an odd goal, 4-0. I was in my house, I was like, what the hell is going on?
They dismantled them, bro. Yeah.
You mean, but
I think with honestly, I think he's gone for a different type of football now. Because last year we were a lot more calm and composed in possession, and I felt like it was a bit of fresh air because from Jurgen Klopp's days, you know, it was kind of like basketball where, you know, like you said with Kevin Keegan, you know, you score 4, we'll score 5, and it's like you want some clean sheets. And last year we got that to some extent. But I feel like now, because, you know, he's got 1 league title under his belt, and technically that wasn't his team last year, it was a team that he inherited in the end. So now he's added kind of his players or his sort of philosophy into the squad now, and it's going to take time. We've made a lot of changes to our squad. We've brought in a lot, we've sold a lot as well, which is obviously, you know, publicly renowned now because we've made a lot of money as well. But it's like we've chopped and changed a lot, whereas Arsenal have added. They haven't released a lot of players. They haven't sold a lot of players. They've added to their current squad. And I think the signings that they've made, Eze for me is a game changer, in my opinion. I feel like he gives them a different sort of spot in that front line, especially on that left, because they were very weak on that left. Martinelli, I don't know what's happened to him. He's gone cold for like the last 2 years.
He's a head down merchant, bro. That's what he is. Yeah.
So, Martin Elliott, bro. That's his true.
I think you're right though. I think Eze unlocks Jokeres. Yeah, I think that's you're going to see the link up between those two, because Eze used to linking up with Mateta and whatnot. You know, Odegaard is too busy feeding Saka. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I think that will bring a different.
Isn't it? The hair flicker,
Yeah, he struck his hair more times than he got touches on the ball. So, you know, that was his game on the last one. But it's going to be interesting. And I think a lot of Liverpool fans are feeling a bit rattled right now because they're like, we've sold all these players. Where's the replacement? Because right now they're saying we're weaker than we were last year, which I kind of understand.
But even did you see Salah's interview at the PFA? They said, "Do you think
Yeah, he
this
said
team's better than
Arsenal,
last season?" And he said, "No." And then because the no was so blunt and abrasive, he
Yeah.
kind of tried to explain it and expand it out. But it's the truth.
Yeah.
Obviously,
But then
as
he
you
chuckled on
mentioned,
stage as well.
yeah.
But that's right to the interview, so you know you got to
Oh,
take
yeah,
it.
look at
Yeah,
you.
so
But
they might
Virgil's
mind
rubbish,
games. They might be playing around.
Virgil broke straight away, bruv. He's rubbish, bruv. You know? So I looked at him and he just burst out laughing. You gotta hold it in, bruv. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't know what the true sort of thinking is, isn't it? But it's going to make the league, I think, very interesting. You know, I think Arsenal have recruited well. I've said Man City have signed some good players. Now, Reinders for me is a quality player.
Talk about some time,
Turkey
bro.
looks good as well. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be a sort of foregone conclusion like it was last year, where Liverpool won it 2 months, you know, prior to the season ending. You know, guys were in Dubai. The manager was in Ibiza having parties, you know, before the season ended. So you know, we were celebrating before the final day. So I don't think it'll be to that nature. I think we'll go to a while. But the Eze signing, I think it's definitely added a bit of grey hairs to a few Liverpool fans. Be like, do you know what? They might do it. But then again, we had that sort of perception where because we bought Verts, Kirkes, Frimpong, everyone's like, oh, you must win the league. But now our energy is to Arsenal, you must win the league now because Arteta spent £1 billion.
They're covering all the positions now, so there could be no. I don't want to hear no excuses, bro. I don't want to hear.
Now.
He's outspent Pep. He's outspent Pep now. So
since he's been in charge from 19, they've spent the Man City. Yeah,
you better get that Pep success.
Trust me, there's no excuses now because now they actually have a complete squad. They have 2 players per position, which Liverpool don't have, and I think Man City might not have either, unless. I think the defenders have got plenty of defenders, but I've heard Akanji's rumored to leave, so there might be some.
That's right. Yeah, he wants to trim the squad.
Yeah, so there might be some more movement happening, but
Savinho
it's going to be a fascinating.
Savinho will probably go Tottenham next week.
Do you think that's going to happen?
So yeah.
I think with Tottenham missing out on Eze, I think they're going to ramp up the Savinho talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
as you said, Dottie, I think I don't even think it's for him to play on the left. He's going to take on the Odegaard's place, so Gabriel will end up captain because obviously Vice and whatnot, all Declan, whatever. And there, because as you said, I'm not sure it's because him. And the thing is as well, why he's different than other players is that he will shoot more. You watch Arsenal and it's sideways. Oh, what does Lee call it? U-shape, U-boat football, or whatever, U-shape football. I was like, what happened to this team? 22, 23, they were flying. They are still dead.
Yeah,
bro. They're dead,
man,
they're dead to watch. But so interesting. But no, they could do a thing. They wouldn't. They could do a thing. But I just think Arteta, he just has to let it loose, and he just has to trust other people in the squad more, man. But I'll tell you what, though, Saka, whether it's an injury or what, it doesn't look right at the moment, bro.
Yeah, he's going to take a while to get up to speed.
Does not look right at the moment. But no, it's gonna be interesting though. But City. I said it when we did our predictions on the show. I said, Pep's disrespected. Man, they're talking interviews, media, social media, everywhere, and these people check social media. They're talking about him like he's some bum because of one season not winning the trophy. And let's be honest, that final was scandalous, bro. Because if Henderson gets sent off, we all know what's happening in that final. But he's disrespected. But they're doing the thing. But Reinders, quality. Quality. And apparently Nuri that can't defend completed the most amount of tackles in the Prem this weekend. So
there you go.
There you go. I said I wanted him over Kirkes, but the people said that I was wrong. They said Kirkes is far better defensively. Man had a stinker against his old club, bruv. Semenyo was cooking him.
Yeah, Kirkes was wilding that day, man. He was going through all sorts of
you see the tackle we did in the first half?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
He was a hothead, man. Honestly.
Come on, man. Hothead. Yeah, of course, man. Someone's had to go over to him, probably speak to Hungarian and calm him down, bruv.
Got to calm him down. No, it's got to calm him down. But speaking of calming down, of course, I don't think there'll be any calming down when it comes to this fixture on Monday. So let's quickly present the team news and then we'll do our predicted lineup. So D-Man will do his Newcastle
Newcastle,
and
yeah.
me and Double D will do our Liverpool. We'll try and figure out anyway. So in terms of team news, D-Man confirmed with me that Willick is back in training. So that is pretty much a full-in squad right now for Newcastle. So no injuries there. With regards to Liverpool, Bradley trained for a few minutes today. So I don't know how promising that sounds. It doesn't seem like he will be able to start, but he could be available from the bench. Frimpong is out until the end of the international break with a hamstring issue. So about a couple of 2-3 weeks, I think that is where we won't be available. Leone has trained with the squad a few times, so he'll be part of the squad, but might be too soon to put him in the firing lineup. The big issue is the right back, which we've briefly touched on, is that Arsenal confirmed, and I think he might have indicated, who might start. So he said Endo can play there. So Bosley is an option. Gomez as well, which for us would be the automatic person to put in the lineup, but
But he's not
he
fully
hasn't
fit
trained
either,
for the
is
last
he?
few
Yeah,
days. He just
exactly.
started training today, I believe. So he may not be fit enough to start, but could be on the bench as well. And with Liverpool having when it comes to Monday, it'll be a 10-day break. So we've had enough time to try and figure out who's fit and who's ready to play in this fixture. So should be an interesting encounter. So what we'll do now is we will present a graphic to predict the lineups. We'll start with the Newcastle team. Before we do, let me get the guys on the screen. D-Man, do you think you guys will be playing a 4-3-3 or should we stick to the current setup right now?
Yeah, I think a 4-3-3. Yeah, I don't think it's too early in the season for Eddie to change formation at the moment. So yeah, I'm gonna go 4-3-3. Yeah,
that's cool. So who is in goal? Would it be Pope or is there anyone else?
it's either Pope or Ramsdale in it, but it's gonna be Pope. He started the last game, kept a clean sheet.
Okay.
So yeah, Nick Pope. Yeah.
And who's in your backline? Because the last fixture you had Livramento at left back, isn't it? And then you had Trippier at right back, wasn't it?
Yeah, because Lewis Hall obviously coming back from that big injury. He's in the squad now. He's been training. He had I think after the game, he was in the squad against Villa. Then he played for the under-21s or the under-19. I can't remember what it was. The next day, under-21s, I think it was. So he's getting up to speed. But I think this game comes too early for him. So Tino's going to be left back.
Left back, okay. And would it be Trippier on the
right back? Yeah,
right side?
Yeah.
Cool. I would have thought it would have been the other way around. Or do you think Livramento plays effectively on that left side?
Oh, he plays effectively because Lewis Hall was injured, I think, just after quite a few games. I think he missed the last 10 games of the season or something. But Tino was outstanding at left back.
Yeah, he was good.
Absolutely outstanding.
He's a great player.
Yeah, he's gonna be left back. Yeah.
Nah, he's cold. He's a very talented player. And your centre back pairing, who are you going with?
It's going to be the same. Fabian Schär and Dan Burn. Eddie's the thing. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So
yeah.
That might change real soon though, because
I reckon
that Tiao is nippy.
Oh yeah,
nippy.
I don't think he plays this game. I think it's going to be. I think you'll see him after the international break.
International break.
Yeah.
Makes
so
sense.
that's cool.
And the midfield three.
Oh, the midfield three, the best one in the league, stands for itself. Speaks for itself, innit? Speaks for itself.
Fuck. The class of Tonali, the fuck Joe Linton.
Fear that midfield physically.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you've heard D, because on one of the Newcastle pages, but Slot was very complimentary of Jacob Murphy in the press conference this afternoon.
Yeah, he was one of the best players last season.
He wants him to start. That's why he just wants him to start. Yeah, he's not slick. But yeah, that's your midfield three. The destroyer. Yeah. But
and the front
listen,
three.
Yeah, the front three is going to be obviously Gordon's going to play the false nine in centrally.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I prefer to see Barnes centrally because Barnes is a better finisher and he reached the game better in the center as well. Because when he was on that scoring streak, a lot of the goals he scored were from when he drifted into the central. So I'd rather him, but he'll put Barnes on the left. Okay. And then the right hand side, I think this might be a game for Jacob Murphy,
Really? Okay.
Actually, no, you've got Kirkers left back in it. No. Elanga. Elanga's going to start. Yeah. Elanga's going to try run it, try terrorize.
Yeah, even if it was Robertson, you still put Alanga in the team because he was just burning for days. So
Yeah, yeah.
that is the Newcastle lineup there. Got a couple of comments there regarding Newcastle from Gavin C. Yeah, Gavin says, I think Newcastle play 5 at the back. That's his view there. And he says in like a 5-3-2 with Alanga, Gordon up front.
You know
What do you
what?
feel about that team?
I don't mind if 5-3-2 is good because I'm guessing they think Malik Chow will start, and maybe
Yeah.
because of the pace of Gakpo and Ekatike and their movement, I think he'll be useful. My only thing is that Eddie Howe, he's very reactive in terms of his selections. So unless someone gets injured or someone's severely out of form,
Yeah.
I don't see him changing, especially at home as well. First game of the season, he's going to want to attack Liverpool. And the fact that we played so well against Aston Villa when we should have won the game,
Yeah.
I think he's going to feel that should be sufficient enough because we created chances. We were defensively solid. Don't get me wrong, that centre-back pairing is very slow. Now, against the likes of Ekatike and Gakpo and Salah, we could struggle. But where he's got Tino on the left to combat Salah, I think he thinks that's enough. And also, that back line was the one that played the cup final as well. So, yeah, I think that's what he's going to go for.
And Liverpool was really good that day as well. Being a right-footed player up against a left-footed right winger, it makes perfect sense to cover the angle as well. So, no, I do hear that. Okay, that's interesting. I think if Newcastle were to get the lead, for example, I can see them switching it up to a back 5 in the second half just to close the gaps and try and make sure that Liverpool can't break the lines as such. So it's going to be interesting. But this is the Newcastle lineup. Me and Double D have the task of trying to figure out who's going to start for Liverpool. So let's crack on. I don't think we need to debate in terms of who goes and go, do we?
Nope. It's going to be Becca.
Listen, now
it's going to be Becca, mate.
Let's start with the right back. So we've got Endo. Frimpong's out. So Endo's an option. You've got Jones as an option. You've got Szoboszlai as an option. Who would you go for?
I'm going to go with Jones. I don't know what if you think you could go with them. I'm actually going to go with Jones. I think with how physical Newcastle can be and how box to box, how they damaged us in the final, especially, but also the first half of the 3-3 draw, which Slot spoke about this afternoon as well. I think we need some besides legs in midfield. So I'd go Jones, but if you think it's going to be Endo or Szoboszlai there, put them in. You get me?
We've got Glenn Carragher. Got Carragher in the house. He's saying Frimpong's out, so he's not available for I'd probably say next 2 or 3 weeks. And Stu, big up Stu. He says Gomez or Bradley will start. I think on paper it makes the most sense to start with either of those players, but because Bradley has literally just started training today, and Gomez technically as well, he's just started training. I know he played for about 20 minutes against Bournemouth. It was a situation where I feel like honestly I had no choice but to put him on the pitch. So I don't think it was something where we wanted to put Joe Gomez so soon after returning from injury. So it's funny. So all day today I'll be trying to figure out who's going to be right back. So a lot of fans are saying Szoboszlai. I'm not quite with that, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like, yes, he brings that sort of technical element of the game where he can pass from a right back position, kind of like what Trent did all those years ago. But I do feel like you lose a bit of his game playing in that position. And I would find it sort of challenging to see him on one-on-one duels. I feel like he will struggle with that kind of scenario there. So for me, Endo would make sense as well because he's defensive minded, but what happened against Bournemouth has put me off to put him in the team at right back. So I think Jones might be the one just because I remember him playing at right back a few times last season and he kind of enjoyed that one-on-one duel against players. So maybe that's something that could, get into this game, whether it's Barnes or Gordon. His best mates with Gordon, so obviously he'll probably know his game inside out. So hopefully that gives us the upper hand in that element. But I think it might have to be Jones. That's who I would go for. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. If you would go for Jones or anyone else. So Double D, should we add Jones to the lineup?
Yeah, put Jones in. Obviously, if Gomez and Bradley are trained more, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then the backline, Konati's got to step up for me. He was awful
Oh God.
against Bournemouth. One
His
of the
head,
worst performances I've seen him play.
his head's already in Madrid, bro. Head's already in Madrid, like.
That's what it felt like. The way he performed, it felt like his head was in Madrid. Like it didn't feel like someone that was focused. And I said it in my match reaction. I thought it was either Madrid's in his head
Mm.
or Leone's come through the door. And Gay's talk at the time was speeding up as well. He's thinking, what, 2 men are coming in to replace me? Like, I don't know what it was that day where he felt like he just wasn't there at all. So he needs to fix up. Because we're still hearing little whispers here and there that Madrid might place a bid because they've got one vacant space in their squad to register a play in La Liga. So fans are a bit edgy about it. I don't think it will happen, but in this day and age, you just never know. So hopefully Konate steps up in this one. Van Dijk, of course, will be starting this one. We're gonna give Kirkes another run out, or do we go for experience with Robertson?
I'm willing to throw in the Robbo curveball, bro. I'm willing to.
Are you?
I'm willing to throw it in, bro. That's how much Kirk stunk against his own team,
wow. I saw comparisons to Alberto Moreno over the weekend when that happened. I was like, nah, people are taking the piss now.
But Moreno was outstanding on his debut against Tottenham, and
against Tottenham, he scored a goal. Yeah, I remember. So
clamping, man.
I don't know.
The goal came from him dispossessing someone, and then he ran 70 yards and banged it in the goal, bro. You get me? But so hopefully the fact that Moreno started well and then tailed off. Hopefully, bad debut. Kirkes goes on to hit the heights that he wants to. So I'd be willing to throw in the Robbo curveball. I doubt it will happen though. So yeah, put Kirkes in, but I wouldn't be surprised if Robbo started.
I'm gonna give Kirkes the benefit of the doubt. It was against his old team, so he was a bit too fired up for his own likings. So I think the occasion got to his head. He didn't play the game; he played the occasion. So with it being Newcastle, hopefully, he's not read the transfer rumors because then he'll be hot-headed in this situation as well. So I'm gonna go for Kirkes in this one. But because I'll be honest with you, when he came off, that's when we conceded 2 goals with Robertson on the pitch. So that doesn't give me confidence either, if that makes sense. So,
but the first goal came from the right. I'm not having it. The first goal came from the right.
I know, but it was the miscommunication between Robbo and Van Dijk that paused the game a little bit, and that ended up happening where Semenyo got the final touch. So I don't know. I'm still not convinced with Robertson.
True fair. Like if he keeps that up, he's only going to be there for a year, bro.
No, he's on his last year contract now, isn't he? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens because with Tsimikas, surprisingly, he's actually going out on loan. He's not going out on a permanent deal. So I don't know what that bodes for the future. But Tsimikas is, close to 30. So to the FSG policy, we don't really keep players above 30 unless your name's Salah or Van Dijk. So it's going to be interesting in terms of what happens left back. But for this one, we'll go with Kirkes. Now, double pivot. Gravenberch has to be welcomed, right?
Grav. Even though I don't even know how much Grav's trained, but he's too important to the midfield. He's too important to it, man.
And alongside him, who are you going to go with? Are you going to go with Szoboszlai or McAllister? What would be your pairing for this fixture?
There's talk of Wirtz being benched for this game, because they're saying Newcastle are gonna flip it.
No, man.
Joe Linton's gonna pick him up and throw him, bro. Yeah, it has to be Dom for the work rate, bro. But then where would Matt go? This is
So I'm gonna throw you a curveball now, yeah. And fans aren't gonna probably believe what I'm about to say.
Mac
I'm
on the
dropping
bench
Wirtz for this fixture.
You're looking at?
I'm dropping Wirtz.
This is the rumors. These are the rumors that have coming out. They're saying that Wirtz will come off the bench because
and not because of the Joe Linton fact. I'm not doing it based on that.
He's shook.
I feel like for this game we need Szoboszlai. He needs to be playing in midfield. We need that energy, and I think having him further up will give us that pressing sort of dominance up top, where I feel like we have lacked in our last couple of games, and I feel like we need to kind of bring that back a little bit. I'm not saying Wirtz is not going to be a first team player or anything to that nature. I would rather see Wirtz come out in the second half, and the reason I say that because I feel like this game is going to be emotionally charged, especially from a Newcastle point of view. So I feel like kind of like in boxing where an aggressive fighter goes a few rounds, uses all his energy, and then for the last 6, he's tired, he's knackered.
Yeah.
That's when you bring Verts on, and then he's the one that adds that creativity
Mm.
and hopefully unlocks maybe a back 5 if it comes at that point at the end.
Yeah.
That's what I'm envisioning right now, where he comes on and becomes a difference maker rather than having him at the start, if that makes sense. So,
All right. So
I was defending the guy last week because everyone
Mm.
was saying he was terrible against Bournemouth.
Mm.
And I was like, nah, you guys need to like relax. I had people on my chat that said he's not world class because of that performance alone. So
Who's Sob?
no, Verts. They said Verts
Verts.
wasn't world class.
Oh, Verts isn't because the one game. Yeah, but bro, people were getting at me the other day, like, because we do our predictions. I read some of them out on on the radio show, and they're like, yeah, I think Verts is going to struggle and this, that. And I said, well, boy, if it's charged by the transfer fee, I understand. No, I just think coming from Bundesliga and he's going to be lightweight, and when he goes to like Newcastle away or Burnley or this team and whatnot, they're going to rough him up and he's not going to like it. I'm like, cool.
Crazy.
Cool. One thing I will say, his corners were awful against Bournemouth. They weren't even passing the first man.
He'll take time.
But he almost scored. He almost scored. He had that shot that just went past like about
it's just the
post
post,
and
yeah.
whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It will come, but the goals, the GA is going to come, bruv.
No, I agree. So for this one, would you agree that we go with Grav, Mac, and Szoboszlai, or do you want to throw in Verts?
Do it. Because then, if not, if Verts does play, it might even be Gakpo that's benched and Sub plays off of the left.
Because with Gakpo, he's become a bit of a scapegoat, and I don't feel like those
people
sort of
don't like.
opinions are justified.
People don't like Cody Gakpo. It's weird. Like the Diaz lovers.
It might be the blonde streaks in his hair. I don't know. People just annoy with him nowadays. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? So they have a reason to hate him. Like last year, he was one of our regular goal scorers until he picked up that injury. He was out for a couple of months. But generally, he might not be flashy or skillful, but he's effective.
He's efficient.
He's got a purpose in terms of how he plays, right? Yeah, he's got output. That's exactly that. So in terms of the last two positions, I don't think we need to debate too much on that. It'll be Salah on the right.
Yeah.
And no Darwin Núñez, so we've got Ekitike.
Also as well, this is the thing though, because, like as well. Verts false 9 can happen too, bruv. And then that allows that's the way that he can accommodate all. That's another way that he can accommodate all of them.
Or you drop Gakpo and you put Verts on the left.
Yeah, exactly. Because
that's an option as well.
Gakpo for the height and that, innit? Because like you don't want to mess with their midfield, bro. No one's even mentioned Gimaresh. When he's on it, bruv, the work rate is crazy. Like the ball recoveries and whatnot, and the tackles and everything there.
He's a bulldog on that pitch. He's not messing around.
And like Ginny, he always gets his body in front of the ball when he carries it forward. Like he's number one found player.
Oh, he's a master at that
over the last couple of seasons, bruv. Yeah, and you don't hear Eddie Howe complaining about that, bruv.
But looking at that team, looking at that team, that lineup.
Yeah.
Newcastle, if they're going to get any joy, they have to attack
Curtis Jones.
Yeah, Curtis Jones and Konate. They have to attack that, bro. But whether or not they do, I'm not so sure. But yeah, I'm talking. So that's going to be like, effectively, that's going to be Joe Linton and Barnes.
Yeah,
Barnes. And obviously, now there's talk from the Newcastle fans because Lewis Hall is back now. So there's talk that they might do the Tino at right back and Hall at left back.
Yeah,
that recovery pace and that obviously pinning your fullbacks as well, going back the other way as well. So it's gonna be interesting, man.
It's going to be a tactical thingy, bro. Everyone's expecting goals, bro.
It's going to be fiery, but if both
managers apply their team, this could end up being a goalless draw, bro. I'm not even joking. Because
are we predicting even in this one?
Filled with chances, just because of the sheer fact that like it's going to be a chess match. Because you're just looking at that, you're thinking that like Kirk's pace. He's going to overlap.
Bro, John Linton don't play chess, man. Come on, he's there to knock man out in that game.
He's going to overlap.
You'd be surprised. Watch Joe Linton be one of the most disciplined players on that pitch, bro. Yeah.
Until Howe really comes on the pitch, then that's when he starts pushing
Hey, he's
around.
getting dashed, bro. Harvey getting dashed, bro. McAllister's getting dashed, bro. What's the
I
grab
know.
between McAllister and Bruno, bro? Watch how that goes on.
McAllister is another person. Every game, man, are trying to kill him, bro.
Yeah,
Every
Bruno's gonna try
game.
kill him, bro. Bruno's gonna put a juicer on him, bro. Watch. Watch.
Do you know another thought I had earlier on today as well? I was thinking maybe we go for Grab and Szoboszlai in a double pivot, because I think
Yeah.
with Grab you have more of a defensive-minded person in that midfield,
Because he could go into
and
the
have
back.
Burks in the number
He can
10.
go when it becomes a back three, and Konate covers
Yeah,
the right, which will
exactly.
allow Jones and Kirkes to
Yeah.
go
I
forward.
think
So
I think
Szoboszlai
yeah,
has to play in midfield. We
I think
needed
yeah,
energy
you're
for
right.
this game.
I think he plays next to Gravenberch, and I think McAllister plays in front. If you're going to drop for McAllister will play in front where
Yeah,
Szoboszlai is. Yeah, I think
possibly. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
what you'd do.
because you don't want McAllister, like you said, you don't want McAllister gonna getting tussled up in the middle of the
Hey,
park.
Tonali
You'd
will
rather have him
chew
a
him
bit
up.
further up.
Tonali will chew him up, bro. Yeah, chew him. Yeah, watch.
But whatever happens, Liverpool players have to step up. That's all I can say. They gotta do some extra press ups or whatnot. They gotta step it up on that day. So
And the thing is as well, I would have preferred they beat Villa because I'm there.
yeah,
What I try to do, because I get 2 trains home after radio, I don't watch
yeah,
the game until I get onto the second train. So I'm waiting
yeah.
for the first because I bought money on there being the first half goal. And I saw no Villa shot on target. I'm seeing Alanga, Gordon. I'm like, what? Because I'm just looking at the stats. I'm not watching. I'm like, what? So then when I actually watched it, Newcastle were opening these guys up, bruv.
Yeah.
Alanga should have scored. He had another opportunity where he wasted it when he was running through. The Gordon shot, though, I think that was like second phase from a
Yeah.
corner or something like that. But you lot will feel aggrieved in terms of how well you played, especially them going down to 10 men as well. You were wasteful again when they went down to 10 men, shooting wildly from outside and into
Yeah.
the box instead of trying to create a proper opportunity. But that performance was worthy of getting the 3 points. Obviously, you didn't do it. So now you'll feel that you're behind on your points total. So like, there's not even that the meme they've got of the guy dropping the thing on the pan in the kitchen and it goes on fire. Yeah. Now this game was already fiery, and now you're just adding it to it. The fact that obviously you feel that you've not got the points that you should have so far. You get me? So
Nah, it's gonna be a crazy one.
I'll take a point and just get out of there, bro. This is gonna be a mad thing. Still, I'm gonna take a point and get out.
Let's go through the comments and we'll do the score predictions as well. Simo says, Big Dom right back killed them with pure skill in the midfield. Mazzy, big up Mazzy, says, Ozzy, can you ask Double D if he thinks we will get both Isak and Gay? And how does D-Man feel about Isak begging it to come to the biggest club in the country? We'll start with Double D. Do you think we'll get Isak and Gay by the end of this window?
Sadly, I think one at best. Sadly.
One at best. Who would you go for? Who would be the one that walks through the door?
Oh, they're both very important because looking lightweight up front, because we're just selling every man in his dog up front, and he doesn't want to give Jaden Danns a chance as a backup. Oh God, Gahey. I'm 50-50 on who it could be. I'm going to go Gahey just for the sheer fact that it will be easier to negotiate that deal than the Isak one, man, because obviously that's Newcastle's prized asset there, and it's what he means to the football club. So the price, that's make him up for sale, of course. But it looks like Chiesa's staying, so I don't know. But yeah, I'll go Gahey, but I could wake up in the morning and I think it's going to be Isak. Something needs to happen over the next 3 days for me to believe that the Isak thing is going to happen, man. So Newcastle better up that with some money or something.
And D-Man, the second part, do you feel about Isak begging it to come to Liverpool?
Listen, he can beg all he wants. he can beg he's homeless, bro. But right about now,
he is homeless. He
Newcastle
hasn't got a yard to live in right now, so he's homeless.
He's in limbo right about now. He's burning bridges without no place to go. Yeah, he's a joker. But listen, we control his destiny right about now. So him begging don't make a difference. Yeah, he's gonna go on. He's gonna perform on our watch. Whether we keep him or we sell him, it's Newcastle's decision, man. So it's all good, man.
Liverpool just need to stump up that cash now. Just put the big briefcase down on the table, and then let's talk business, and then let's see what happens after that. Because I feel like Liverpool just being a bit too nicey about it. They need to just say, look, this is our bid.
Yeah.
Take your leave, and then we can kind of see what happens after the window. But
Yeah.
let's see what happens. Ozan Kabak says, big up Ozzy, I hope you're
Big up
well.
Ozad. Always
He
locked in.
says Newcastle fans have already been setting up bail money for Joe Linton because they want him. You think our players? Listen, I'm not even surprised about that. There might be a GoFundMe page somewhere online. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that.
Watch him score the winner, mate. Watch him score the winner.
Najib he says, if Liverpool do this formation, Newcastle is gonna
Yeah.
kill them.
Yeah.
I
I
think
heard that.
anywhere you can put it down to our availability, if you're, it's going to be a tough day for Liverpool for sure.
Yeah.
Mazzy says, Ozzy, the Rodrigo links to Liverpool are back today. Do you think realistically we would sign him?
Imagine.
I don't see it happening. I feel like he's going to stay at Madrid. I feel like he feels like he can still have an impact there. So I don't think he'll want to leave anytime soon. I know he's not been selected in recent games, but
Yeah.
I don't see there being a link to the Premier League. The only club I thought he may have joined would have been Man City, but I don't know if they're in the market for a left wing again. What about you guys? What do you feel about these Rodrigo links to the Premier League? Is there any sort of truth to it, or is this paper
It
talk
could
again?
happen. It could happen. He did. I watched Madrid's boring game with Osasuna a couple of days ago, and didn't get a minute of action. So I don't know if they battered Osasuna, you could get it. But if you're struggling to create like they did in that game, Mastu and Arnold,
The young kid,
he came close to scoring in the second half, but Barda didn't really make many chances apart from the penalty that Mbappe won. So I think it could happen. I think it could happen into the Prem. But if City because Rodrigo's just got he chops people in the shot, and I want none of it, bro. I want none of it, bro.
Well, I think he does leave because the news is broken today late tonight that he's accepted that his career is over at Real Madrid. He's asking Perez to let him go. Yeah, so he wants to come to the Prem. Apparently, I don't know how true it is, but they're saying that his representatives came over to the UK today to discuss with a couple of clubs and stuff. So
I heard that as well.
I think it is between City and Liverpool, and I think Liverpool will push harder for it, especially because it depends on the Isak thing. Yeah, if they feel that there's no way they're going to get Isak now, I think they will push the hardest for Rodrigo, and I think he'd go there. I think he'd choose Liverpool over City. I think.
Is there a world where we can get both? Or am I just dreaming right now?
No. You got money, but you ain't got that money. Nah.
Imagine.
Had to raise the question, had to raise it. We'll see what happens. But guys, score predictions. D-Man, I'll start with you. What scoreline are you going with? And goal scorers as well.
Listen, there's all this talk about, we're coming to hurt you lot, whatever. The only thing I can guarantee is that the atmosphere is going to be on fire. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if I know Dubul Dee used to watch, but I don't know if you watch if you watch Dream Team from back in the day.
Yes, I remember.
From Frank, play the game, not the occasion. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I'm hoping that Newcastle do. I think Eddie will instill that window. Listen, the first few minutes is going to be, you're going to see some reducers put on your players, but it will settle down. Now, the fact that we've got no striker, the fact that we don't genuinely do that well against you lot, I think wherever we go, I still think you're going to have enough to beat us. I think it's going to be a narrow 2-1 win to you guys. At best, we can hope for a draw, but I think it's going to be more a 2-1 to you guys.
Who are your goal scorers?
I think we take the lead through Elanga, and I think I'm going to say Gakpo and Ekitike.
Good shot.
I think, I'm not sure if Salah's going to score. I think he'll get an assist. I'm going to keep it positive because you know me, whether it's a radio show or a podcast, I very rarely say Liverpool going to lose. Even sometimes I now done the draws. I'm going to go 2-1 win for Liverpool, but that's what the heart's telling me. Head saying it's going to be a draw.
Okay, who's your goal scorers for your 2-1 prediction?
Ekitike and if Soberside does play the 10, I'm actually going to go with Dom, to silence the haters.
Newcastle's.
Silence the haters. Newcastle's goal. it's probably going to be Gordon again, isn't it? If they get overload in midfield, it's always Gordon that gets the chance. So it's about whether or not he's going to be clinical or not, whether it's been Anfield or St James's Park since he's been there. He'll get through. He scored at St James's last season, but otherwise he tends to shoot at the keeper. But yeah, I'm going to go with Gordon in this one. Or it's going to be like a Tonali bagger from the edge of the box or so. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep it positive and saying we could do it, but secretly I probably think it's going to be a draw.
It's a full house. I'm going for 2-1 as well.
Come on, energy.
I actually think Newcastle are going to score first. I think they're going to score in the first half.
That's what I think.
And I think it will be Elanga who gets the goal.
Oh, bro, the sound will be deafening though. Are we going to recover from that? Do you know how loud? That stadium is? And this time they're always loud, but they're not always intimidating. Now they're going to be damn intimidating, bro. They're going to boo us before the game, or us boo every touch and whatnot. You get what I'm saying? Like it's the players that are the ones that are trying to bid for Isak. You know what I'm saying? You watch, it's going to be madness, bro. Sky knew what they were doing when they put this on the Monday, bro. They're not dumb, bro.
They knew exactly what's happening. You know what? It's true. You know, they knew exactly what they're doing with that fixture. And then I see Liverpool scoring 2 in the second half. I think Wirtz will have a role to play in terms of unlocking the Newcastle defense. So in terms of goal scorers, I'm going for Salah, and Ekitike is going to score the winning goal. I would love for him to do the.
You know what I think will happen?
He will not make it out alive. Yeah?
I hope it's not. I hope it's not the case. But I've got a feeling that one of our goals might be controversial. And it's just going to cause a further talking point. Like a ball comes in and there's like a foul or something like that, or whatever beforehand, that it's not given them play on the Liverpool score or something. I hope not, but I've just got this funny feeling that there's going to be something strange in this match here. But it might be so much emotion flowing and whatnot, physicality, that it might not be as entertaining as you would have got if there wasn't so much controversy around what's going on right about now. You get me?
It's going to be a crazy thing. I think we can pretty much guarantee fireworks to some extent, but it's going to be a great watch. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Let me give everyone a shout before we close the show. Shout out to Lucas, AR, Steve, Stu, Gavin, Simo, Mazzy, Ozen Kabak, and Najib. Appreciate your comments as always, guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. D-Man, great to have you on the show. It's been a long time coming. Been trying to get you on the show for some time. So I'm glad you've come on today. Probably, in this scenario where it's a very hostile game, but we've kept it very civil today, which is all good. So please let the people know how to, reach up to you in terms of social media, and please plug your channel and anything that you've got coming up soon.
Yeah, well, obviously you can see 90s Mags, my Newcastle show that I do with my co-host Jefferson. We do a show every Sunday, and obviously when the Champions League starts, we're doing a midweek show as well, so check that out. Obviously, I'm the co-host for the D&D Footy Factory with Dubul Dee and Big Sam. Yeah, Saturdays on Top FM. Yeah, 10 to 12, 95.5. Tune in. I'll be there tomorrow. And yeah, my own channel, D-Man TV. Newcastle content. It's going to be, panel shows. Hopefully get you guys on there in the future and stuff. But yeah, man, that's me, man. That's me. So you'll see me.
Drop your links in the chat. I'll add them to the description. I'll add it to the chat as well, so people can subscribe to links as well. But yeah, I'll definitely add that before we close the show. And Dubul Dee, let the people know how to.
D plug the show. Well, next time I'll come on, because the European pod is back that we do for No Chofters, but we did not finish up the recording earlier. But next time I'm on, I'll plug that when the actual whole video is done. But yeah, plug the show. So yeah, get to following the Footy Factory, man, at DD Footy Factory _ on all social media, as he said. Saturday mornings 10 a.m. on top. And next time I come on, I should have a surprise by then. But just gotta sort some things out. But yeah, like, you get me. But yeah, push on. But yeah, follow these things. They'll be in the Ozzy will put those up, man. Support D, because the channel's fresh. he's getting in them videos in the car and that saying F Liverpool and them thing. Now I'm joking.
Burning on
Yeah,
Isak
yeah,
t-shirts as well. So
work for it.
no, definitely. We'll, you
Man did
know,
a 2-pack, hit him up in his car and that. You get me?
no, definitely. Of course, you know, you're a friend of the channel, so we'll definitely show our support in every shape and form. Just got a super chat here from LH. He says, "Big up D
Big up,
man, representing Newcastle fans well, bro. Big
big
up
up.
yourself, LH. Thank you for your super
Big up,
chat.
man.
Very
Appreciate
much
it.
appreciated." But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and hope to speak to you all very, very soon. Goodbye.